How's it going, everybody? I am the Texas Man. I hope you guys are all having a spectacular day. Please give this video a thumbs up if you guys really enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys have not already. And also do me the biggest favor of all, hit that bell notification button so you guys do not miss out on a single video coming out in the future here on the Texas Man channel. With that, I'm bringing you guys sort of a essay video. Normally I don't do these here on the Texas Man channel, but I've been requested to do this video, so I hope you guys all enjoy this. And these are some of the reasons why I don't watch TV shows anymore. Now, I used to enjoy watching TV shows a lot. I can say tons of TV show names off the top of my head, but for the sake of keeping this video short, I'm not going to. My favorite TV show of all time to this day in the year 2020 is still Lost. You know, we've gotten a bunch of other great shows that have come out over the past decades and whatnot. But my favorite show that I was religiously attached to, I had to watch every single episode when it aired. It didn't matter what was going on in my personal life or at work. I made time and the energy and the effort to always make sure I watched every single episode of Lost when it aired. And once the show came to its conclusion, with the final season, the 6th season, I have watched that show from start to finish, all 6 seasons, on disc, constantly. It is something that I watch a minimum of at least twice a year, because it's a phenomenal show. And unfortunately, we don't get those types of shows where I can say, I have so many fond memories of watching the show when it was airing. Hollywood now, unfortunately, is pumping out shows like crazy, and the ability to keep up with shows is nearly impossible. There are so many different types of shows wanting your attention constantly, and it is nigh impossible to watch all of them. I mean, people have Netflix and Disney Plus and all that stuff, and their watch later list is so huge. I'm like, what is the point? Like, how can your brain possibly keep up with all these different characters, all these different stories, all these different worlds? It's impossible. I remember 20 years ago when shows were airing, and I'm just like, this looks good and that looks bad. That looks good, this looks okay, I'll give it a shot. Now we've got so many shows out that it has become so much easier to pick out the garbage, and I'm just like, okay, so I guess I'm watching this one show, and we'll see if it's any good for the next couple months. Oh, something happened. They killed off my favorite character. Moving on to another show. And there are so many problems now with shows. Most shows now are either prequels to shows that have been around for 20 plus years. We're getting sequel shows now. Like, for example, we had Star Wars The Clone Wars. That got canceled because Disney bought Star Wars. Then we got Rebels, which was a sequel show. And then we've got all these rip-offs and, you know, irritating spin-offs of classic films. And I'm like, or reboot shows. And I'm just like, Hollywood has officially run out of ideas for classic things. Like, I know for a fact that at the time of me making this video, they're in the talks with Tim Allen to redo the Home Improvement TV show right now. And I'm like, why? Why? What's wrong with the original? Another problem that I have with TV shows in this current day and age, most shows never end. Most shows go on forever. It's like there's never an end in sight. A lot of TV shows nowadays, they start up, they have a good couple first 2 or 3 seasons, and then they have no idea how to conclude, so they're just dragging on forever and ever and ever and ever. And unfortunately, that makes it where, like, you know, when you get to a show that has like 100 plus episodes, a lot of those episodes are duds. They're not good. They're just filler content because the studio that's making it's like, okay, we need to keep pumping out more episodes because at least we're making more money. Doesn't matter if they're good or bad, just make something. And the biggest one that I can think of is The Walking Dead, because right now they're in the middle of their 10th season. 10 seasons of zombie slaying. Like, come to an end, please. But AMC is not doing that. They're still doing The Walking Dead. They've had a spin-off, Fear the Walking Dead, which is my favorite zombie show. But unfortunately, that show is really coming to a dying end. Because in season 4, they ended up killing off 80% of the main cast that started the show. And then season 5 happened, and it's like, oh, that was boring. And now they got season 6 starting off in a couple months. Then we're getting another Walking Dead spin-off called The Walking Dead World or something. And I'm just like, boring. Also, another problem with with today's current trend of TV shows. Some shows end up being canceled in the middle of story and character arcs, leaving tons of questions unanswered and most viewers unhappy. One show that I can think of off the top of my head is Revolution. If you guys don't remember the TV show Revolution that came out, oh gosh, 3-4 years ago when the first season aired? It was about when all the power on the entire planet got shut off by this mysterious force, and what would society be like without power? And they had an awesome 2 seasons, and then the show got canceled because the second half of season 2 lost half of its viewers. But the people that were still sticking around wanted at least another 8 to 10 episodes for season 3 to conclude story and character arcs. But it never got answered. If you want to know what happens, then you got to go read a book. And I'm like, I don't want to go read a book. I'm watching a TV show. End the show as a TV show, not a book or a novel or a comic. Because most people don't care. Another problem. Many shows are either horror, super violence, gay politics, and crap and crass comedy shows, workshops, fashion shows, zombies, or time travel. Most of the stuff that is on TV that has come out in the past 5 to 8 years is uninspiring, lazy writing, and can be found on the internet and watched in less than 5 minutes on YouTube. Like, if you want to know how to put a nail in a board, you do not need to watch 45 minutes of a TV show to find out. Either A, figure it out for yourself, or 2, go watch it on a 5-minute video online. How many different types of horror shows and, ghost stories can we get? How many different time travel shows can we possibly get? How many zombie shows and spin-offs of Walking Dead can we possibly milk out of people? It is so irritating. Another problem is a lot of trailers for shows end up giving away a lot of the plot details and story beats that are going to be in the season. Like, I can't think of a show off the top of my head. Let's think of one. I can't think of one because I stopped watching TV like 5 years ago because I just got bored. But I'm sure there's a show that you can think of that you've watched and you're like, okay, I understand what's going to happen for the whole first season. Nothing exciting or surprising is going to happen. If there's a show like that, which I'm sure that there's a show that you've watched, please let me know in the comment section of what that show is. Also, development for a new season after like a season 1 concludes, development for another season can take place between 5 to 9 months, leaving a lot of people a lot of wait time to wait for the story to continue. And if you don't pump out another season fast enough, people are going to forget about the first season and that the show even existed, and they're going to move on to other things. Also, a lot of shows now are pushing political agenda nonsense. Let's go back to Lost. Lost didn't have to worry about trailers on YouTube as much. Like, it didn't happen until like season 5 and 6, and even with that, it was really quiet and brief. Didn't tell you a lot because they wanted to make sure that the last 2 seasons, all the awesome stuff that was coming in the conclusion and the finale of the show was kept secret. They didn't want to spoil too much. They were showing you that, hey, this character's back. Hey, this character's still alive. This is where this character's been for the past 12 episodes. But it doesn't give away too many plot details and story beats. Also didn't have to worry about Lost as a TV show. Didn't have to worry about politics and women's rights and all this other crap that Hollywood is now pushing. Lost was a show just for the sake of being a show. Lost was a show for you to watch, to enjoy the world in which it had created. It was something that had a beginning, a middle, an end. Character arcs, story arcs. Characters get killed off. Characters say goodbye because they need to go do something else in the show, but they're still around. The world was enriched. It threw so much stuff into 6 seasons with time travel, alternate dimensions, moving the island around. Awesome villains, cool heroes, and plot twists. We don't get any of that stuff anymore. I know that sounds like I'm giving you guys a rundown of why I like Lost. I'm not. I'm saying why Lost is a good show, and I'm using that as an example of the fact that we don't get those types of shows anymore. We don't. And if you think we do, I'd like to know what show you think of that can compare to Lost in today's age of TV shows. Tell me a show that sounds a lot like Lost that is airing today, because I would be surprised if you can name one. I want to watch shows that have a beginning and an end, like Timeless, Designated Survivor. I want shows that have good stories, like Lost, 24, Revolution. Shows that have good character arcs, like Stargate SG-1, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Or just to have some fun some Friday, Saturday night. Just kick the feet up, enjoy some popcorn, and enjoy some action like The Last Ship, Revolution, or Jack Ryan. But the problem is we don't get those shows. And a lot of people in the workplace and my friends and family, they're always nagging on me, Doug, why don't you watch this show? Why don't you watch that show? And I'm like, tell me, in less than 30 seconds, summarize what the show is about. If you cannot summarize what the show is about in less than 30 seconds, then it's not a good show. I have people that tell me about this show and that show, and they're like, oh, you got this one person that's doing this one thing, and there's a time travel machine, and I'm like, stop, time travel machine. Seen that 100 times. Not interesting, uninspiring, lazy, not creative. I want shows that are unique. And we don't get those anymore. And I will only spend time watching shows that are something interesting that hasn't been done to death 100 times over. If you guys agree or disagree, please do let me know in the comment section. I do value your guys' opinions, even if I disagree with you guys. So these are just why I don't watch TV anymore. TV shows in particular. So thank you guys for watching. I know this was a bit of a rant video, but you guys requested this, so I hope you guys all enjoy. Please let me know what you guys thought of this video in the comment section. You guys all have a fabulous day, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.